Coming to you live from the UTRGV Fieldhouse in the three-time All-American city of Edinburgh, this is UTRGV Volleyball. Tonight, it's the home opener as the Vaqueros take on the Texas A&M-Corpus Christi Islanders, their geographical rivals from the north. Good evening again, everybody. My name is Jonah Goldberg. The man sitting to my right is the one and only Brian Smith. The Vaqueros coming off of a 2-1 tournament. Now it's early, and it's just 3 matches. But Brian, at 2-1, this is their best start since 2004. And you can already start to see the differences in this team.
A strong start, too. When we think about their match against Louisiana Tech, what a match that was for this program. A lot of strength we saw from the newcomers. We'll talk a little bit more as the broadcast goes on about how those newcomers are contributing, as well as the little bit of change of pace that new head coach Todd Lowry has brought to the volleyball program.
Bojana Mitrovic and Alexandra Ecker both on the all-tournament team. Mitrovic led the Vaqueros in kills every match and blocks as well. She leads the WAC in blocks and kills, averaging 4 kills per set and just under 1 block per set. So an excellent start for Mitrovic. Ecker off to a great start as well. The freshman from Hilotes, just outside of San Antonio, 1.2 kills per set, almost a dig, almost a block per set as well. Ecker is really impressive what she's doing, because she came in as an outside hitter. And they slid her over to the middle blocker position. She's flourished. The Vaqueros have talked about possibly she'll be one of those middles who becomes a 6 rotation type player because of her excellent serve receive. It's hard to lose that kind of passing ability by putting her in the middle and not letting her play on the outside. So you might see Ecker at different positions as the season goes on, or heck, even as soon potentially as today. So the Vaqueros in those 3 matches, the 3-1 win over Louisiana Tech, a 0-3 loss to Houston Baptist, 3-0 over Alcorn State. The tournament hosted by Houston Baptist. Louisiana Tech win. Really impressive. You know, Vaqueros all time haven't had a lot of success against Tech, but able to go in there and win pretty convincingly. Casey Sanchez has a big thing in that match. She was able to come back, prove that she's healthy. It was her first match in almost a year, September 6th of last year. 8 kills on 350 hitting, 6 digs. Big start for her. And then also making her debut over the weekend in all 3 matches, the starting center, Dubravka Vukoya, who played all 3 matches as the setter, and she had 30 sets in that match. Take a time out. Coming up on Vaqueros pre-match, it's Coach's Corner. I'll chat with Vaqueros head coach Todd Lowry. This is Vaqueros Volleyball.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Welcome back to Vaqueros pre-match. It's the Coach's Corner. Jonah Goldberg with Vaqueros head coach Todd Lowry. And Coach, it's the home opener. You get to play at the Fieldhouse for the first time this season. What is it feeling like right now?
The girls are excited to come out here and kind of show what they've been, all the hard work they've put in, and to get a good crowd in here and be able to put that on display.
You've already played 3 matches at the Houston Baptist Tournament, 2-1. What did you see from your team?
Saw some good things and saw some things we needed to work on, and kind of came in and switched up the rotations last night in practice, and going to see if it looks a little bit better tonight. But got some good defense out of some kids, and got some good offensive production out of a couple kids, and we just need to find a couple more to contribute.
Tell me more about the Louisiana Tech win. I mean, that's the kind of match that, previous years this program wasn't going to win, and you won 3-1, and in some sets, you're really in control a lot.
We played well against Louisiana Tech. We did the things that we've worked on all preseason really well in that match, and I think that created some excitement with the girls. The system that we're trying to teach them and the things we're trying to kind of enforce into them, when they saw that they did those things, good results happened, and that's exciting.
And Bojana Mitrovic now leading the WAC in kills and blocks per set.
She's a big kid, big arm, and the good thing is I don't think we've seen the best of her yet, and she's going to be a lot for everybody to handle all season long, and she's going to have to really work because it's not going to take long for people to find out about her, and she's not going to be a secret for long, and she's going to have to work really hard to kind of keep those kind of statistics up.
But is it nice to see such a quick transition to the Division I level?
For sure. I don't think we ever doubted her ability at this level, and she definitely doesn't doubt it in herself, which is huge, is to have that confidence. But to see her come and get it done kind of gives us confidence as a staff too. This was a new adventure for us. None of us had ever been at the Division I level, and to have one of our kids that we recruited and we put a year in with to come in and be successful the first weekend not only gives us high expectations for this season, but going forward, knowing the quality of kids that we can recruit, getting those kids here is just going to make this program continue to grow.
Mitrovic was on the all-tournament team. Also on the all-tournament team, Alexandra Ecker. What kind of weekend do you see from her?
What a tremendous little freshman. We moved her positions 3 days before we took off, and she accepted the challenge and went in, and she might have been our best kid consistently throughout the weekend. She just doesn't make mistakes. She's great side to side, and our job now is just to find a way to get her more involved than we did last weekend, and that was one of the things that we're looking to do tonight.
One thing I've been noticing in practices, or the fact that you decided on a bus ride instead of a plane ride up to Houston for the tournament, this team seems very close. You see in warm-ups they're singing together, they're laughing together. You guys seem to have fun during practices. Seems like a pretty cool team atmosphere you've got.
That was one of the things. We're going to spend more time with each other over the next 3 months than we are with our own families, whether we want to or not. So if it's not fun, they don't become a group of sisters and those kind of things, then they're just asking for problems and disasters, and we figure the closer they are as a group, the more they're going to be comfortable with each other on the court and pick each other up when someone's down, and have confidence in that person next to them, or the confidence in the person coming off the bench to help them out when they're not on a good day. And I think all those little things make a big difference in the close matches. Maybe not in the matches that you're supposed to win or the matches that you're really overmatched, but in all those matches in between, which we feel like we have a lot of those on our schedule this year. Hopefully that helps us win some of those close matches.
What can you tell us about Texas A&M-Corpus Christi?
Tony's done a great job up there. They're picked to finish close to the top of the Southland again this year. Great ball control team. They run it fastest side to side. Maybe not quite as big a block as we saw against HBU, but probably a little bit more consistent than that HBU team. So we're going to have to play much better than we did last weekend to give these guys a run tonight.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot and good luck.
All right, thank you.
That's Vaqueros head coach Todd Lowry. That'll do it for the Coach's Corner. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have your starting lineups and opening serve. This is Vaqueros Volleyball.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Welcome back out to the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg as we get ready for the start of tonight's home opener between the UTRGV Vaqueros and the Texas A&M-Corpus Christi Islanders. They are going through the starting lineups, so we will do the same. We will start with the visiting Islanders. Starting at the middle blocking positions, a 5'10 sophomore out of Houston, number 10, Brittany Gilpin. A 6'1 sophomore out of Alameda, California, number 5, Madeline Dowd. And a 5'11 senior out of Poth, number 16, Kelsey Felix. The outside hitters, a 5'9 senior out of Arlington, number 4, Ivy Barsh. And a 6' junior out of Reno, Nevada, number 6, Morgan Carlson. The setter, a 6' sophomore out of Louisville, number 14, Kristen Nicholson. And at libero, a 5'8 sophomore out of Allen, number 11, Katie Klepetka. Head coach of the Islanders is Tony Greystone, assisted by Morgan Thomas. The Islanders enter this match with an unblemished record of 3-0. Played a tournament away from home, so 1-0 on the road in a true road match. As for those host UTRGV Vaqueros, you can line up the usual suspects. Starting in the middle, a 5'10 freshman out of Elotes, number 3, Alexandra Ecker, and a 6' senior out of Honolulu, Hawaii, number 14, Haley Durham. The outside hitters, a 5'9 junior out of Round Rock, co-captain of the Vaqueros, number 2, Alicia Watson. A 5'11 redshirt junior out of San Benito, number 11, co-captain of the Vaqueros, Casey Sanchez. And a 6'1 sophomore out of Novi Sad, Serbia, number 23, Bojana Mitrovic. The setter, 6' freshman out of Septica, Serbia, number 10, Dubravka Vukoya. And at libero, a 5'4 sophomore out of Houston, number 4, Rihanna Shannon. Head coach of the Vaqueros in his first season is Todd Lowry. He's assisted by Vinny Bygun. Vaqueros enter this match with a record of 2-1. They won last time out. They had a tournament in Houston, so this is their first home match. Alternated win-loss-win in that tournament in Houston. Referees today, the first referee, Carlos Rodriguez. The second referee is Fred Bueller. Well, we get our first look at these new UTRGV uniforms as the team gets introduced. They're home uniforms that we'll see most of the time. Although in the tournament this weekend, I expect we'll see both uniforms. You'll see home white tops as the primary UTRGV logo on the front, orange-blue trim with the green star, Lone Star, out on the UTRGV, blue numerals on the front and on the back in that Kelly green trim to help it pop a little bit. They wear gray shorts with orange sides and the Adidas logo on the right of both the shirt and the shorts. White sneakers all around, Adidas sneakers with the high white Adidas socks. Islanders go with the low socks. Also an Adidas school, they wear the blue tops, black bottoms, blue numerals in white trim to make them visible, with the I for Islander on the back. The libero wears white for Corpus, while the libero for UTRGV wears gray all the way, and that's actually the road uniform that they wear. It's the easiest way to do it. So for Brianna Shannon, her home uniform is gray and her road uniform is white, and that's just the way it works. UTRGV is looking to get off to a 3-1 start for the first time in a long time. First time since 2004. However, in 2004 they lost their next match. So if they win this one, and let's say they win Friday morning's match against Incarnate Word, they would be 4-1 for the first time since 1996. That was the season they started 6-1 and 10-2. But gotta win this one first before you can worry about that one. Don't put the cart before the horse. Vaqueros on the right side of your screen, or really the whole screen, and the Islanders on the left side of your screen. Kristen Nicholson with the opening serve for Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. And at 7:07 p.m., Nicholson's first serve is up and into the net. 1-0 Vaqueros. So Dubravka Vakoya will serve for UTRGV. Goes with the jump float. First one is put up in the air, sent back. Block attempt by Sanchez and Durham, kept in the air by the Islanders. There's the attack, it's over the block. Sanchez to her knees. Vakoya, now Watson sends it down, and this one is not coming back. 2-0 Vaqueros.
Strong start by the Vaqueros tonight. Interesting thing to see the scramble that they've got going right now. It seems to be an orchestrated move there from the middles, but they drop back, giving some assistance to the girls deep.
Vakoya with the jump float. Sent forward by the Islanders. Attack from the outside, and Mitrovic can't keep it up. Makes it 2-1. Kelsey Felix takes a seat for the Islanders. Shyla Maldonado is in and serving. Watson on the first hit. Vakoya forward for Durham. That one set up. Now over to the left. Barsh blocked in the net. Another try at the net. And that one off UTRGV. That ties it up at 2. We mentioned Ivy Barsh, the senior out of Arlington. You'll hear her name a lot. She has done some really good stuff against what was then known as UTPA, now UTRGV, through the years. When I saw her name still on the roster, I thought, my goodness, I thought she must have been a senior by now. Seems like every year I've been here. Watson nails it. 3-2 UTRGV.
To your point, Watson's been a mainstay for the Vaqueros, transitioning over from the Bronx, one of the solid hitters coming off of the right side.
And she wins that point. 4-2 UTRGV. We've been talking about trying to move Watson to the other side this year. You know, she swings with that left arm. Can give you a dangerous angle from either side. A lot of power from that arm, too. Set up by Klepka. From the back, that's Watson. Not coming back. 5-2 Vaqueros. You know, one thing Coach Lowry talked about during the week was during the Louisiana Tech match about how his team, I read this in the monitor, his team, they were starting to realize what they were doing during the match because that was a team that had traditionally given this program fits. Hit over by Mitrovic. But during the match, they started to realize what was happening. They were winning, and that was a cool thing, Lowry said. Sent over, Ecker. Okoye. Mitrovic, got it! With a big fist bump! 6-2!
It was an excellent, excellent set. You can always tell when a set is right on time because the attacking player can hit it with the most amount of downward force and really drive it past the defense.
Watson set to serve again. She was one of the best servers for this program last year. Averaged more than 0.3 aces per set. It sounds like a small number, but it's good.
It's an exceptional number, really.
Yeah, it's quite good. 6-3 UTRGV now. And she's one of those players that, of the returners, there aren't a lot, but I think there are 6, and they've never beaten the Islanders. This is a big match for them. And when I say they, I mean the ones on the court. Another point for UTRGV, 7-3. UTRGV 15-18 all time against Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. That sounds like a pretty even series, and overall it is. That one's dumped in. But the Vaqueros at one point were 15-7 all time against the Islanders. They've lost 11 straight to Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. Last time UTRGV won, 2007 as UTPA. Didn't play in 08, and from 09 to present haven't beaten them. Looking to change that today.
And off to a wonderful start in that endeavor.
That one goes out. 7-5.
Haley Durham, who plays middle for this Vaqueros team, one of the best blockers in program history, joined by another 6-footer this year, something she can take some advantage of, having another nice, long, tall body right there in the middle.
Ecker. That's a point for UTRGV. 8-5. Miranda Shannon back to serve. Libero, and it's just so great to see the emergence of Shannon as the starting libero early on here. Shannon walked onto this team last year. Unable to keep that one up. Played off the bench. As a defensive specialist, here and there. But now she's getting significant minutes, and she's coming through. She's a big part of that 2-1 start. She's done a great job back there. She's not the only one we've seen in that defensive position. Leslie Garza, the freshman from Laredo, has done a nice job back there too. They bring different looks to that position. Mitrovic hits it out.
Interesting move, having so much youth at libero as well. Typically, when you see a libero at the Division I level, they often are junior college transfers, a more experienced player who can set the defense. But Lowry has really given some experience to his underclassmen with this position so far this year. And they've done well.
Well, the only way to get that experience is to play. Ecker, got it! Oh, the freshman from just outside San Antonio making a big impact early. It's 9-7 UTRGV.
That snaps a small run the Islanders had put together there to pull the match within 8-7 at one point.
Mitrovic back to serve for UTRGV. Sanchez pushes it forward, and it's just dumped in by Vaqueros. Nice move. 10-7 UTRGV.
That really is one of my favorite forms of attack to see on the volleyball court. That little dump catches the defense napping. You play so hard on defense that sometimes that's your most vulnerable spot when the team decides to dump one over on you.
The first one is always the most dangerous. That one is knocked out on the block attempt. Because you know it's a possibility, but you don't really prepare for it. You know, some setters will get one or two to drop, but then they'll start doing it over and over, and that's when it starts getting blocked, because they start to see it coming. But if you do one here, one there, it's a nice way to get a point and earn some momentum as Watson launches with the left arm. 11-8 Vaqueros.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Woo. Who needs Sherlock when you have Watson?
And that's been her signature with this program from when it was the Bronx Vaqueros, that really, really aggressive attack.
Down the middle, that one reaches the corner. Kill for Dowd. Makes it a 2-point set.
Watson, the returning leader in this program in kills per set at 1.8.
Oh! Bojana Mitrovic with a bazooka. 12-9. I tell you, if I'm on the other side of that net and I say Mitrovic go up, first of all, she's huge. I mean, how tall is she? She's 6'1". So when she gets up there, it's already intimidating. And then when she loads their right arm, all I could think is get out of the way. The block by Sanchez and Durham, a couple of returners, both academic seniors, 13-9 Vaqueros. And Corpus Christi wants a timeout. We'll take one as well, 13-9 UTRGV. This is Vaqueros Volleyball.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. Alongside Brian Smith, I'm Jonah Goldberg. (13-9) UTRGV in the opening set. UTRGV is playing really well, hitting .471. 10 kills, just 2 attack errors in 17 attempts. 278 for Corpus, that's not bad, not by any stretch of the imagination. But with the pace UTRGV is putting up there, it's tough. That makes it 13-10.
Heading into the break, we talked about what a dominant force Mitrovic is for the Vaqueros, but really when you look at the entire line for UTPA, there's a lot of size and a lot to worry about. If you look down the starting roster, 5'10", 6 foot, 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1", that's a lot of size and certainly makes the attack very difficult.
Durham blocked, kept up by Ecker. Bukoya, Watson blocked. Ecker again, diving is Bukoya. Watson forces it over. Let's see if they can turn this into something. Bukoya gets it up. Ecker and Durham together. Sanchez knocks it over, where it's pushed up in the air by Klepeka. Now sent back by Barsh, out of bounds. Now that is a point you can build off of. That was going to be nothing, and they turned it into something.
Back-to-back spectacular digs to keep that rally alive.
Refusing to give up on the point. Impressive play by the Vaqueros there. Watson gets real high on the serve. Soft attack kept up again. Now they can't get the point this time. It just shows you the willingness to sacrifice the body in order to have a shot at it, and Vaqueros will make a substitution, I think the first time today. As Leslie Garza is in, Alicia Watson takes a seat. You have Shannon on the bench area too, and she's the libero, so she comes in and out. So Garza back there to give that defensive presence. A little extra on the serve receive with Shannon out right now. Barsh is blocked, kept up by Corpus, another attack. This one's soft, and Vaqueros can't get it on the dive.
The chemistry for the Vaqueros so far has been nothing short of spectacular, and really something to be talked about, given this is just Lowry's first season, and he has 9 newcomers on this squad, and yet the chemistry is right there.
Durham, Vaqueros, Durham! Now to the right side, Carlson. Garza, Vaqueros, and Sanchez pushes it over. Now the front row, Gilpin blocked by Durham, kept up again. Set by Klepetka, hit over. Here comes Mitrovic with a little tapper. You don't see that coming from Mitrovic.
She's got power, she's got touch. A very, very formidable opponent on the attack. You can see Coach Lowry happy with what he sees from his team thus far. 15-12 lead is certainly nothing short of a great start for this young Vaqueros squad.
Mitrovic again blocked. This one headed for Brian, just out of his reach, but grabbed by Ted Bonende, who protects our provost, Avedon Rodriguez, from getting hit with the ball. So that's the save of the week.
So far.
Ted Bonende, ardent supporter. He and his wife are at every match, game, competition. If it's here, and they go on the road sometimes too.
They do. They were in Houston last weekend.
Yes, they were. They were with the volleyball team in Houston, and anything they have a chance to get to.
Retired English professor, well respected in the program, and loved by all the women's programs here at UTRGV.
Great support.
We've talked several times, but for the first time tonight, we'll discuss the background of Todd Lowry, 4-time national champion in AIA.
King with the serve, Mitrovic for Vaqueros. Durham, got it.
Brings quite a legacy into UTRGV, but Jonah, did you know there is some legacy at Corpus as well? A&M-Corpus head coach Tony Greystone actually has a Division II national championship to his credit as well as an assistant in 1997.
There are a lot of national championships on the floor today. You got 2 for Vinny Bigan, the assistant coach, 1 as a player, 1 as an assistant over at Park College. Mitrovic into the net. 4-point set. So that means that between those 3 coaches, there are 7 national championships on the floor right now. That's pretty good. Not bad.
I'll take 1.
Yeah, right. Ivy Barsh back to serve. Sanchez, Vaqueros, Ecker, blocked. 3-point set. Barsh, jump float. Sanchez, Vaqueros, Mitrovic. Popped high in the air by Klepetka. Way back is Barsh again. Now Klepetka with her back to the net sends it over. Garza steps up. Vaqueros, Mitrovic sends it home. Jerome. 19-15.
You know, the ball really makes a different sound off of her hand than I've heard from most players. That sounds like a cannon every single time she wears back.
And now, just like that, Mitrovic will head back to serve. The attack kept up by Sanchez. Vaqueros, Watson, a little floater into the middle. It's pushed up, pushed forward. The attack from Felix. A diving grab by Sanchez. Shannon, Watson gets it over and just out. Nice attempt, but it becomes a 3-point set. This is such a huge set for UTRGV. They played so well, they have to win it. Because as much as there's a physical side to the match, there's a mental side to volleyball. And especially for the returners, but really everybody here, because I'm sure they know. I'm sure it's been talked about as Ecker gets the kill. You can't tell me it hasn't been talked about in the locker room at some point. They know. They may not know it's 11 straight, but the student athletes who've been here, they know they haven't been in Corpus during their time here, whether it's 1 year or 3.
In fact, last season, these two programs met twice. Corpus took 6 of those 7 sets.
Watson, and then pushed over by Nicholson. 2017. And they all want to beat them. I mean, you always want to beat everybody. Yeah. But it's different. It's a geographical rival. You play them a lot. You know you play them every year. You might play them twice. This year I played them 3 times. And then twice in Corpus on back-to-back days. That one heads out, 21-17. So there's a big part of the match here that's mental. And if you win this first set, you don't let them come back. If you let them come back, then all of a sudden it's like, here we go again. If you win it, then you have that confidence and you know, hey, we can not only play with them, but we can beat them.
And to your point, very close geographic rivals. 2.5, 3 hours difference between these two programs.
So that one goes out. You know, it's so different for these two teams too, where if the Islanders lose the first set, it's not as big a deal because they know they can beat this team. They know they're a good team. They're 3-0. They've been picked near the top of the Southland. So they can bounce back from that. It might not be as easy for UTRGV.
And 3-0 with some quality wins. 3-0 defeat of Grambling, 3 over Campbell, and then went up against UT Arlington and took that set 3-2.
Sanchez sets it up. Fukuya again. Now it's Watson. Got it! 22-18.
This is really the pivotal point in every match. When you can get a 4-point lead with 2 or 3 points left, this is the time to really put your opponent away. Don't let them sneak back in. If you let that get to 22-20, it's anybody's game by that point.
Watson jump float. Whistle dead in the air. I couldn't see why. We'll do it again.
That was just practice.
Yeah, right? Watson gets airborne. Sent over by McGarva. Now Sanchez trying to return it. The block in the middle, sent backwards. McGarva again. Fukuya. Ecker. Now it's Mitrovic, blocked to the net. Sanchez, blocked to the net. Ecker. Fukuya. Mitrovic again, just a little floater, and she gets it over the block. 2 points from a 1-set lead.
Going back to our discussion earlier about the national championship from these two squads, if you combine head coach Todd Lowry and assistant coach Vinny Bigon's records together, you're looking at 3 of the last 4 NAIA national champions. 3 of the last 4.
Block the net by Sanchez and Durham. It's set point. That's an amazing statistic.
3 of the last 4.
Watson can put it away here. Dumping. Islanders get the serve back. They've got to win at least 5 straight serves to keep this one going. So Kate Klepetka, the libero, back to serve. Serves it out! The Vaqueros take the first set, 25-19. So UTRGV leads Texas A&M-Corpus Christi 1-0 in the match. We'll take a break, come back with the first set stats. This is Vaqueros Volleyball.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things...
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg. First set goes to UTRGV 25-19. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. Islanders are currently led in kills by Ivy Barsh, 3 kills to go with a pair of digs. 2 kills each for Carlson, Nicholson, and Felix, 1 each for Gilpin, Dowd, and King. 6 assists for Nicholson and a block each for Gilpin and Felix. They combined on that one. For UTRGV, it's Mitrovic leading the way. Who else? 7 kills. 5 for Watson. Mitrovic 333, hitting Watson 300. 3 kills for Ecker, 1 each for Durham and Vaqueros. Vaqueros also with 12 assists already. She has 5 digs, as does Casey Sanchez to tie for the lead. 2 blocks each for Sanchez and Durham. They've combined on both of them. UTRGV hitting 262, Texas A&M-Corpus Christi hitting 163. We give you all the numbers, but the only ones that matter. 1-0. UTRGV leads Texas A&M-Corpus Christi at the start of the second set. So they switch sides of the court. UTRGV still in white on the left. Texas A&M-Corpus Christi still in blue on the right. The Islanders' libero is in white. The Vaqueros' libero in gray, although not currently on the court.
Serving for the Vaqueros, number 10, Dubravka Vaqueros.
So Dubravka Vaqueros is back to serve for UTRGV. Nicholson. And it's hit by Carlson, and she gets it through the block. Down the strike, or check that, it goes out. 1-0 UTRGV.
Taking a look at the roster for Texas A&M-Corpus, returning 9 players from last year's squad. They went 19-16, made it to the second round of the Southland Conference Tournament before eventually being knocked off by the University of Central Arkansas.
The attack goes up, sent back, and Watson. Nice volley going on here. Ukoya. Watson. Impressive. Sanchez. Ukoya. Watson tries again. Barsh. Sanchez. Ukoya. Whistle dead. Point for the Islanders. Double hit. You were saying?
School I know pretty well, University of Central Arkansas. I grew up less than an hour from there. A very strong volleyball program. So a lot to be said for A&M-Corpus playing with them for most of that conference tournament. Though they ended up losing 3-0, but we're in every single one of those sets. Second round of a conference tournament.
Yeah, you know, when you see 3-0, you got to look at the scores sometimes because if every, you know, I'm not saying this was the case, but if every set is 25-13, 13, or if every set is 25-23, it's still 3-0, but it's two very different 3-0s.
This is very true, very true. And especially in the Southland, if you take a moment to look back at the Southland standings from last year, you had 5 teams just all compact, very tightly in the conference tournament. So the difference between 2 and 5 in that conference tournament was a difference of just 2.5 games.
Good volleyball at the top of the conference. And it's good preparation for UTRGV. Durham and Mitrovic on the block. 3-1 UTRGV, because the WAC has some monsters. There are some really big blockers and outsides in the WAC. So some of these Southland schools are a good test to get an idea of the WAC. I think the WAC's got a little more size, but it's still, it'll help you get ready.
The Southland's always been known as a fundamentally strong volleyball conference. So certainly a good test of the Vaqueros. They'll get an opportunity to see how they match up defensively against a very technically sound set of schools.
Sequoia tried to pancake it. She couldn't. The ball touched the floor. Point for Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. It's 3-2.
And a good test for Coach Lowry to see how his new recruits have come in and gelled with the returning starters to see how they really do as a unified program.
Well, I talked to him about this match a while back. Blocking the net, tied at 3, way back. Like before the season ever started, I think maybe before training camp started, I asked him specifically about whether or not they could beat Texas A&M-Corpus Christi, because it's the same thing I was talking about earlier. It's, you know, it's been a while, been since 2007, and you know, at the time he said he honestly didn't know because he never got to play them when he was at UT Brownsville. He tried to, but they couldn't make it work. You know, when he was at UT Brownsville, they played a few D1s every year, and they often beat them. You know, when you're a national championship contender in the NAIA, that often equates to a pretty good mid-major at the NCAA D1 level, because remember, NAIA and NCAA, the difference isn't necessarily talent, as we're learning when we see Bojana Mitrovic. I mean, my goodness, it's clearly not a talent issue. You know, sometimes it's different recruiting philosophies, different needs with majors or different schools. And there are other reasons, too, because they also have different standards and requirements between the two organizations, the NCAA and the NAIA. So there are certainly a lot of reasons why somebody might go to one instead of the other. You know, but talent-wise, certainly the top teams, they're right there.
That's exactly what Lowry's talked about for several years. I recall it was 2 years ago now when UTB played the then UTPA Bronx. One of the things that Lowry said going into that match was he thought it was a good opportunity to see how his NAIA team would match against a solid D1 team. And UT Brownsville won that match. I believe it was 3-2.
3-2, yeah.
I
remember that.
5-game set.
UTB was ranked number 1 in NAIA. They were undefeated. They were defending national champions. They played 2 matches that day. They swept Texas Southern earlier in the day, and then a great 3-2 classic here at the Fieldhouse between UTPA and UTB. But hashtag we are one now. So 4 hits. Point for the Islanders. Texas A&M-Corpus Christi up 6-5.
And at the time of that match, he talked about several of his seniors that he on that squad, that he said really he was proud to have at UTB because they could have very easily gone to a Division I school and flourished. That, of course, being his last national championship team as well.
Another point for the Islanders, 7-5. That's their largest lead of the match so far. Remember, UTRGV pretty much led wire to wire throughout the first set. The Islanders would come close, but UTRGV pretty much held them at arm's length. But here in the second set, the Islanders have led a couple of times, and it's pretty much been tight throughout so far. That one goes out. UTRGV back within 1, 6-7.
Back to Lowry briefly. If you look over his resume, he kind of reads like a who's who of coaching excellence. National runner-up last year, national champion the year prior to that, then a national semifinal appearance, a national champion, another semifinal, and a national quarterfinal. So he's been in the national tournament.
Dumped in by Nicholson, 8-6 Islanders.
7 of the last 8 years he took a program.
7 out of 8?
Yeah.
Not 8 out of 8?
Yeah.
The slacker.
7 out of the last 8 made it to the national tournament. Not conference tournament, national tournament.
Reading his bio and his stats, it always just blows my mind. Some of just what he's been able to accomplish is Watson can't keep it up. There are a few people who tried to get it up and just couldn't. Goes into the net. 6'9". And he now has a .919 career winning percentage.
I'm not sure I spell my name correctly.
91.9% of the time.
And it's not that hard.
No. Well, it's the I versus the Y.
It's tricky.
Another block. Islanders up 4. It's 10-6. People always say, when you see something like that, you say, those are video game numbers. No, they're better than video game numbers. I play video games. 901 is my best. So I am 18 percentage points worse in fake life than Todd Lowry is in real life.
And this is not even high school records. A lot of times you'll see coaches make their transition from high school to college, and you'll say, oh, well, they had a 900 win percentage in high school. Todd Lowry had an above 900 win percentage in college volleyball.
I want to do you one better. I want you to go back to his bio and tell me what his record was his first season ever as a head coach.
He was perfect, 41-0.
I mean, who does that? That one's hit out. Vaqueros back within 2. It's 8-10.
In fact, Lowry's had 3 perfect seasons. Not 1, not 2, 3 perfect seasons. 2002, 2006, 2013.
Which is impressive and all, but the first year? That just blows my mind. That was at
National
American University. They went undefeated, won a national championship. Of course, they went undefeated. Well, I guess it wasn't, of course. They weren't in a conference. They weren't independent in the NAIA, so they had to get an at-large bid into the tournament. They did, I would hope, undefeated. And they get that at large. They go on and they win. He's only lost double figures games in a season once in his entire career, and that was his final season at National American University. And I'm going to give him a pass on that because his final season was also the last season of that program's existence. They decided to cut volleyball, and they knew that was coming. So I'm sure he lost a pretty good number of student athletes. Despite that, 26-11, 703 win percentage.
Just really staggering numbers.
703 is the worst winning percentage of his career. That's a great career. I mean, that ball heads out. Vaqueros back within 3 again, 9-12.
Try this on for size. He's only had 2 seasons in his entire career where the win percentage was below 900.
Oh, jeez.
He's been above 900 all but 2 years.
Like, when you just look at the numbers, you just think, wow. I mean, there's just no words. That one goes down again. Islander having a heck of an offensive set here in the second. Carlson knocks that one down. It's 13-9, Texas A&M-Corpus Christi.
I'll tell you a big change we've seen from the Islanders in this set. Sophomore number 14, Nicholson. Kristen Nicholson, who oddly enough is the program's first Southland Conference Freshman of the Year, has really stepped up her game here in the second set.
Yeah, she's definitely had a good start here. It's a 5-point set, and now it's UTRGV that's going to call a timeout. Vaqueros trail 9-14. Second set leads the match 1-0. You're watching Vaqueros Volleyball.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment That moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg. 9-14, Vaqueros trailing the Islanders here in set number 2 after winning the first set by a count of 25-19. Ivy Barsh back to serve for Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. Watson hits it up, and it's sent right down by Felix, right off the Vaqueros timeout. The Islanders back on the board. They've got a 6-point lead. I want to make one more point about Coach Lowry. We talk about his 9-19 career winning percentage, and yeah, except for these first 3 matches, he did that all in the NAIA. And I don't want anybody to say, well, he did that in the NAIA. The NCAA is much harder. You can look at it that way if you want, but you also have to think about the fact that he still had to recruit, he still had to coach, and he was still doing it in comparison to other NAIA programs. So everybody he was doing it with was playing by the same rules that he was and all the same restrictions as he was. That one's off the net. It is 16-9 Islanders. You can't extrapolate exactly what would happen for him at the Division I level. We're seeing it firsthand now in these first few years based on that. But what you can say is that he obviously knows what he's doing and was able to do the best he could in the confines, and best that almost anybody could, based on 4 national championships and a 920 winning percentage in the NAIA. It's not like, oh, well, that's easy. I mean, somebody's going to have half the teams are going to have a losing record. So I never want to hear that. And I'll say it again, as we're seeing with Mitrovic, as that ball is blocked to the net by Morgan Williams and Kelsey Felix, make it 18-9 Islanders. Mitrovic just another great example of how it does translate to the Division I level. Take another timeout. Vaqueros down 9. You're watching Vaqueros Volleyball.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg. 18-9 Islanders here in the second set. Vaqueros won the first set, 25-19. But Texas A&M-Corpus Christi is running away with this one. Vaqueros get back on the board. It's their first point in a while. Last time the Vaqueros scored, they got within 9-12. So that breaks a 6-0 run for Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. You want to go back a little further, it was 8-10. So you could say that it breaks an 9-2 run, or an 8-2 run, I should say. However you want to slice it. The Islanders have been in control for a little while now, but now the Vaqueros have back-to-back points. It was tight early. It was 6-5 Islanders. It was 7-6 Islanders. So it was a 1-point set, but Islanders have led by as many as 8. Now there's the little dump, but Watson's able to get it. It's quickly hit over by Megan Dempsey. Another point for the Islanders. Dempsey, her first action. Missed the weekend series at Houston Baptist, the 6-foot junior out of Marietta, California, an outside hitter. Transfer from UNLV.
Good program at UNLV.
It's a good get for Coach Lowry and this Vaqueros squad. Dempsey gets airborne, pushes it down. Point for UTRGV. It's a 7-point set.
We're going to continue our conversation about Coach Lowry's dominance in NAIA. Think about this for a second. How many losses does he have in conference play?
Well, let's see.
None. Never lost a conference game. That goes beyond just being a good coach or being competitive.
Tell them how many matches that is.
You're looking at a number I can't even add in my head.
75. It's right there.
Oh, if I could read, yeah. Jonah Goldberg does such a good job on the game notes.
75-0 in conference. And that's even more difficult in a way because those are teams you see all the time. You know you're going to see them twice and maybe 3 times a year in the conference tournament. So they know you better than anybody, and yet they still can't beat you. Bukoya for Mitrovic. Got it. 7-point set again.
When you think about how much attention is paid to a program just going undefeated in conference in a season, try doing that for 7 consecutive seasons. Mind-boggling.
Brianna Shannon back to serve. Pushed up by the Islanders. Attack from the outside. It was Gillipin. And now Mitrovic trying to respond. Popped high in the air by Klepetka. Now to the outside, Felix. And she got that one. It is an 8-point Islanders advantage again. And they are now 4 points away from tying this matchup.
As we talked about briefly a moment ago, the setter for the Islanders, number 14, Kristen Nicholson, Southland Conference Freshman of the Year last year. You might ask, well, how do you become Freshman of the Year as a setter? 9.5 assists per set as a freshman.
It's pretty good.
Put that in perspective, that was 72.5% of the team's total assists in the season.
Carried the workload pretty good for a freshman. That's a hard thing to do because it's a lot more demanding than high school. But still able to handle it. Speaks well to the conditioning. Watson. There's Barsh. Mitrovic pops it up. Bukoya back to Mitrovic. And Kopeka gets it up. Sent down and in. 22-14.
Because you have to really consider, as a freshman playing setter, as your setter goes, so goes your offense. And so to have that much faith in a freshman, not only faith, but then to have that amount of skill out of a freshman is really something to take note of.
Acker on the first hit, Bukoya. Now Watson knocks it down. Ecker back to serve for UTRGV. Pops it in the air, past the block. And the Islanders are 2 points away. That one's out, set point for Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. Shannon, Bukoya, Watson pushed up in the air, a whistle. And UTRGV back on the board. Little floater. Bukoya keeps it up. It's Dempsey. And now from the back, Mitrovic. That one's not coming back. Morgan Williams ends the set 25-16. Texas A&M-Corpus Christi takes the set. This match is now tied at 1 apiece. Coming up on the intermission report. Yes? Okay. They weren't going off the court. Coming up on the intermission report, we'll take a look at your first set stats, and we'll take a look around the WAC. This is Vaqueros Volleyball.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg. Score after 2 sets is 1 apiece. UTRGV and Texas A&M-Corpus Christi tied up. Vaqueros took the first set 25-19, dropped the second set 16-25. Looking at the numbers as they stand right now through 2 sets, Islanders are being led by Ivy Barsh and Kelsey Felix, who have 5 kills each. Felix on .231 hitting with 3 blocks. Also with 3 blocks is Morgan Williams. Also with 5 kills is Morgan Carlson. 2 kills for Brittany Gilpin, 2 blocks. 3 for Kristen Nicholson, 13 assists, an ace and 3 digs. Kill each for Morgan Williams and Haley King, as well as Madeline Dowd. The Islanders hitting 148 for the match. As for UTRGV, led in kills by, who else? Bojana Mitrovic, 4th match in a row. 10 kills, 231 hitting, 6 digs, and 1 block. 7 kills for Alicia Watson, 3 digs, 3 kills. Alexandra Ecker, 7 digs. 2 kills for Dubravka Vakoya with 18 assists and 11 digs, so she's got her second straight double-double. Haley Durham, 2 kills, 4 blocks. 1 kill for Megan Dempsey. Vaqueros hitting 156. Give you all the numbers, but the only ones that matter, 1 and 1. Vaqueros and Islanders are tied up. We'll take a timeout. Coming up on the halftime report, we'll throw it to Megan McDonald in our WAC Digital Network studio with an update from around the WAC. This is Vaqueros Volleyball.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to The Rewind, I'm Megan McDonald. We had another big weekend in the WAC, starting with men's soccer. UTRGV kicked off their first game in 18 years with a big 3-0 shutout against Houston Tillotson. Sophomore Ollie Tinkinen was the first one to put the Vaqueros on the board on a one-on-one opportunity. Isaiah Hines and Carlos Acevedo tacked on goals as well. Seattle U came up big, proving why they were voted number 1 in the preseason polls, shutting out UC Davis 6-0. Hamza Haddadi tied a 19-year-old record with 4 goals on Friday. The Redhawks came up short 1-0 against Gonzaga after outshooting them 15-9 on Sunday. Other games in the WAC, reigning champ UNLV fell short at Loyola Marymount 2-0. Last year's runner-up Bakersfield lost to Denver 4-0 in its opener. Utah Valley went 2-0 this weekend, shutting out both Massachusetts and UMass Lowell. Time now for men's soccer players of the week. Seattle U forward Hamza Haddadi and Utah Valley defender Alex Neff have been named offensive and defensive players of the week. Haddadi recorded a hat-trick on penalty kicks alone to total 4 goals against UC Davis, and Neff helped limit teams to just 4 shots on goal during the Wolverines' pair of shutouts. Heading over to the women, Mila Benedeni of Grand Canyon had a big game, scoring both of the goals in the win over Colorado State. On Sunday, the Lopes had their 7-game winning streak snapped with a tough 1-0 loss to Weber State. Seattle U dropped its game on Friday against Pac-12 opponent Washington, but came up big on Sunday as they beat SEC opponent Vanderbilt. The 3-1 win marks the Redhawks' first victory over an SEC school in program history. Mason Summer, Carly White, and Julia Moravec all tallied goals in the first half. Head coach Julie Woodward is only 1 win shy from her 250th career win in her 19th year at Seattle U. Utah Valley went 2-0, beating in-state rival Utah State 1-0 and Montana 6-2. Elsewhere in the WAC, New Mexico State dropped matches to Idaho and Cal State Northridge, while UMKC split the weekend, losing to Missouri State, but bouncing back with a 2-0 decision at Western Illinois. For the Women Players of the Week were also announced today, with Utah Valley sweeping the awards. Sheridan Fox was named Offensive Player of the Week, and Jessica Duffin was named Defensive Player of the Week. Fox tallied 2 goals and an assist, while Duffin recorded her 11th shutout of her career in the net. There were a lot of interesting volleyball matches in the WAC over the weekend. Seattle U started their season off with a bang, winning the Melton Classic by sweeping Cal on its home floor. New Mexico State went 3-1, while both UMKC and UTRGV went 2-1. Bakersfield and Chicago State had a tough weekend, both going 0-3. Volleyball Player of the Week hails from New Mexico State. Outside hitter Gwen Murphy helped take the Aggies to a thrilling 5th set against number 16 Arizona State. She tallied 57 kills, 9 blocks, 7 digs, and 6 service aces in the Falcon Classic. Don't forget, you can find live games at wacsports.com/live. For more information, check us out at wacsports.com or follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. the hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Welcome back out to the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg as we get ready for the start of the third set of play between UTRGV and Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. Vaqueros the first set 25-19, dropped the second set 16-25, so we're tied at 1. The intermission is complete. The Islanders are serving, and here we go. Islanders on the left, Vaqueros on the right. Vaqueros in white with a gray libero, and the Islanders in blue with a white libero. And Brianna Shannon diving to the floor, reaching to try and keep that one up, but a near impossible task. That ball heads out, and the Islanders strike first. It's 1-0.
A valiant effort, though. Sacrificing the body to try to get that dig.
That's what these Vaqueros are willing to do. That was into the net, tied at 1. Vaqueros led wire to wire in the first set. In the second set, Vaqueros led 3-1, but that was it. It was still tight. It was, for a little bit anyway, it was 5-5. That was the last tie. And the Islanders scored 2 in a row, never trailed again. Pushed that lead quickly. Led by as many as 9. Double touch. And it's 2-1 Texas A&M-Corpus Christi.
We talked earlier about what a great test it is for this young Vaqueros team to play against a solid Southland opponent. It doesn't get any easier when they get to conference play. We talked about that briefly at the onset. Last week, one of the Vaqueros' future opponents, stopped myself there, from New Mexico State, the Aggies have the American Volleyball Coach Association Division I National Player of the Week.
That's
in Gwen
pretty
Murphy.
good. Oh boy. I saw that come through the wire earlier today, and that's a pretty good honor.
Not Conference Player of the Week, although she was Conference Player of the Week.
I would hope so.
Not Regional Player of the Week, National Player of the Week.
As UTRGV gets the point. You know, it's funny. We nominated Bojana Mitrovic Player of the Week. It seemed like a pretty good move at the time. You know, leading the WAC in kills per set. She's averaging nearly a block per set, 2.3 digs. Like, really good numbers, and she meant everything to UTRGV over the weekend. And without looking to see what anybody else in the conference did, I felt pretty good about it. And then when it came out that she didn't win it, I thought, come on. Then, of course, I see this, and, you know, National Player of the Week. Obviously, the correct decision was made.
3.8 kills, 478 hitting percentage.
Whoa, 478?
Yes.
Yikes.
A career high 16 kills, not once, but twice in the same week.
Pretty good week.
Yeah. Hit a blazing 722 in a sweep of Montana to open the season. 722.
Speaking of video game numbers, point UTRGV, we're tied at 4.
And you won't read this in a lot of recaps, but I'll say this much. For someone to hit 722, little credit ought to go to the setter. Yeah. Those were some solid sets if she's going to be able to put them through. Assistant National Player of the Week? I don't know.
Putting it on a tee. 5-4 UTRGV. Setter is the most unheralded position. If you have a good one, she may go unnoticed. If you don't have a good one, it is probably noticed. It's not fair.
Very, very true. And you might say, well, how big a deal is it to get a National Player of the Week? Every school has one or so of those a year, right? The WAC has not had a National Player of the Week since October of 2007.
It's not an easy thing to get. I mean, there are only so many weeks in the season. There are 30-some-odd conferences. And, you know, the Power 5 to deal with. So I'd imagine they get a lot of them. King serving. Okoye, Durham, blocked. Since we talked about the unheralded position, I just want to take a moment to say I like what I've seen from Okoye.
I agree.
You know, she's a freshman. She's coming in, started all 4 matches, and she's played very well. She already has a double-double today. She's showing that she's multifaceted. She's not just a setter. She can start the offense as well. And she set that one up for Mitrovic. Attack comes from Felix.
What a dig.
Yeah, kept it up. This is what we're talking about. That's not going to show up in the stat sheet because it didn't lead to a kill. So it doesn't, there won't be a dig. But, you know, that's why I don't like stats. I love stats, but I also hate them.
An SID who hates stats.
Statistics.
Statistics.
The cause of and solution to all of life's problems. Because you can make stats say anything you want.
This is true.
Okoye just tried to punch that one over. It goes out. So if you ever want to prove a point, you just pull out the statistics. You can prove anything using statistics. And we're going to get our first look this season at Tina Sekulic. Sekulic came over from UT Brownsville, played for Coach Lowry last year. Had a heck of a season as a freshman setter. Speaking of setters, as Vaqueros gets her first break, maybe of the season. Sanchez from the back row. Sekulic on the first hit. Into the net. You know, it's interesting, Sekulic missing time. We weren't sure when she'd be coming back. Coach Lowry calls the timeout. We'll take one as well. 5-9 the score. Third set. You're watching UTRGV Volleyball.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
Welcome to SWAC Digital Network Update.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith and Jonah Goldberg. 5-9 the score. UTRGV trailing third set. Match tied at what? Off the first UTRGV timeout of the second set, Corpus scored. I think that might have happened on the second timeout too. They were just in the zone in that second set. Let's see what happens here in the third. Sekulic forces it over. Or Sekulic, I should say. That one falls in the middle. 10-5, Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. Sekulic, over 1,300 assists last season at UT Brownsville. Second highest total in a single season and in a career in program history. Averaged 10.7 assists per set, the fourth highest single season total and third highest career total in program history. Had a 55 assist match against Oklahoma Baptist. Time for the ninth highest single match total in program history. She was their conference setter of the year and an all first team selection, as you would hope. Mitrovic punches it towards the line. In or out, in or out. Line judge says in. Islanders head coach Tony Greystone says out. The referee agrees with the line judge. It's a 4-point set. Brianna Shannon back to serve it up. And that one heads out off of Garza.
Second highest assist total in program history. Remembering this is a program that has 2 national championships.
Yeah, so they've had some really good setters, or they had some. Well, the cool thing for Sekulic is that number will never change. She will always have the second highest total in program history, despite playing just 1 season there. Because that's a final record book. Be interesting to see what she can do with the record books here. UTRGV within 4, 7-11.
Pretty famous setter in this school's record books as well. Senior Associate Athletic Director Chelsea Blakely, I believe, is somewhere on that.
She is far and away the career leader. It's not close. She holds all the main setting records. (7-12). Be interesting because we saw Vakoya's ball control. If Sekulic works her way back into the rotation, if she, after missing that first series, if she's good to go now, how they'll divvy up the playing time and whether you might see one of them sometimes maybe have more of a defensive specialist position to give you extra ball control in certain situations. It's a great luxury to be able to have 2 solid setters on your team. UTRGV may very well have that, especially if everybody's healthy.
A majorly understated luxury when you think about it. And don't forget Brianna Shannon, not a bad libero to come in.
Oh, she's doing a nice job. Garza's been doing a nice job in the defensive specialist role too, so a lot of depth there. Block, goes back over, Watson pops it up. Sekulic, down from the back, Sanchez with the floater, and it drops in. 5-point set.
Interesting coaching style for Coach Lowry, too. 2 or 3 points ago, you saw him look at his team, telling them, settle down, watch for the play. You'll see it happen. Very interesting, showing that he's coached these girls to understand what's going on in front of them and not ask them to do anything that they can't physically see going on in front of them.
Watson. Dempsey on the outside. Coming over from King. Ecker pops it up, Sekulic. And then Dempsey gets it over. Blocked. Dempsey and Watson, a whistle. Called double hit on UTRGV.
I would have guessed that was in the net as opposed to a double hit.
Yeah. I don't know how it could have hit twice, but maybe it. I don't know. If I saw the replay, then I might. Because, you know, they look at that view they have. I mean, it's inches away. If they can't see it, nobody can. So, and of course, we can't see it because our angle, we see the backs of the players when they're up there, so we can't see their hands. First serve of the season for Sekulic. 15-9, Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. Ivy Barsh gets airborne. Watson, Dempsey, Durham pushes it over. Carlson slams it home. Barsh Mitrovic, Sekulic, and there goes Durham. 6-point set.
That's a great sign for UTRGV. Durham, one of the most consistent hitters last year for UTPA, seeming to find her spot now after a pretty quiet start to the game.
Well, she's among the career leaders in hitting percentage in this program's history. 233, that ranks 5th all time. All-time leader, Lisa Yana, is 320. Five-point set as Watson serves. From the back row, Barsh. Durham diving. And Romeo Villarreal doing double duty. He makes the stop. He produces. He engineers. He plays defense.
I'll give Jonah Goldberg an assist on that.
Oh, I didn't touch that ball. That was all Romeo. Mitrovic. Out. Islanders have opened up a 7-point lead. Kopetka serving. Garza. Double hit. Vaqueros didn't see it. They all look with an expression of, huh? I didn't see it either, but.
Looks like we'll get a yellow card.
I wonder what that's about. I swear the PA guy said it was to the Islanders, so I didn't see why. I guess I was busy looking at the UTRGV faces. Durham slams it home. There it is. You know, she's had a kind of quiet match today, but when she gets up there and has the ball right in front of her, I mean, Durham's got as strong as arm as anybody. She's another person I would not be willing to stand on the other side of the net from while she is hitting the ball.
Think about a 1-2 punch you have there, Durham and Mitrovic.
And Ecker. You don't just stop after the first 2 punches. But Durham 2 in a row now. And Watson, 4 punches. Now I can keep going, but you know, Dempsey's got a kill today. We'll see, you know, what the Vaqueros get out of her. But you know, you start to see in the early going, Mitrovic put up in the air by Kopetka, forward by Dempsey. Sekulic, Durham, block. Garza, right place, right time. Durham again, over the block and got it. 5-point set.
Might we be seeing the birth of the Smash Sisters?
Man. Now, do I have to give you credit for that?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one for free.
Sekulic, Garza, Mitrovic from the back row. Through the block and in. Good ball. 2014 Islanders. So the kill from Carlson breaks Durham's streak of 3 in a row. Suddenly, Durham has 6 kills.
Ever so quietly, although not so quietly the last 4 or 5 minutes of playing time.
She had 2 in the first set, just 3 in a row right now. And the 2 in the first set were pretty much in a row, if I remember correctly. Mitrovic can't get it through. Block, got it! Durham and Sekulic. It's a 5-point set again.
I'll give you another one. Can the Islanders in Durham?
Huh?
Yeah, that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Can the Islanders in Durham, as in indoor Durham's attack?
Oh, yeah, I get it. I get jokes.
if you set them up properly.
Sanchez. Sekulic tries to tap it. It went over. Sekulic tried to stop it at the net again. Mitrovic. Out. (21-15) Islanders. Skylar Maldonado in to serve. Kelsey Felix towards the bench area. Nobody ever is actually on the bench. The chairs are superfluous. Mitrovic hits it out. 22-15 Texas A&M-Corpus Christi.
They are nice chairs, however.
They are. They're brand new. They came in today. Just in time. Garza. Mitrovic. Forced over by Barge. And it lands in there. Islanders are closing in on set point. It's already 23-15, so Coach Lowry cannot wait any longer. He'll call his second time out. Step aside. Vaqueros trail by 8. You're watching Vaqueros Volleyball.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg. 15-23. (16-23). Jonah Mitrovic back to serve for the Vaqueros, who are in need of some points if they want to rally here. Islanders are just 2 points away from taking the set. Vaqueros have a long way to go. The road just got a little harder. Texas A&M-Corpus Christi's got set point up 24-16. The Vaqueros have to win 8 straight points to keep this set going. Watson. Shannon. Sekulic. Mitrovic. Comes over. And out. 25-16, Texas A&M Corpus Christi takes set number 3 to take a 2-1 lead in the match. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at the stats as they stand right now. You're watching Vaqueros Volleyball.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I am Jonah Goldberg. At the end of 3 sets, Islanders lead 2-1. Vaqueros took the first set 25-19, but the Islanders 25-16 each of the next 2 sets. Islanders currently led by Ivy Barsh, 12 kills with 9 digs, so on our way to a double-double. 8 kills for Carlson, 6 for Felix, 4 each for Gilpin and Nicholson. Nicholson also with 26 assists, 4 digs. 2 for Williams, 1 each for Dowd and King. Islanders are hitting 185. Vaqueros are hitting 102, and they're led by Bojana Mitrovic, 13 kills with 7 digs and 2 blocks. 7 kills, Alicia Watson with 4 digs. 3 kills for Alexandra Ecker with a block and 9 digs. Dubravka Vakoya, 19 assists, 12 digs, 2 kills. 2 kills for Megan Dempsey. She's got a block. 1 kill for Casey Sanchez. There's 2 blocks. And Haley Durham, 6 kills, 5 blocks as well. So she's having a nice all-around match now. And picked it up a little bit. I mean, certainly the blocks are good. You know, she's had a lot of attacks. Kills started to fall a little bit in that 3rd set. And if she can keep that up, that could be a difference maker here in the 4th set. But the Islanders got on the board first again. It's 1-0. And, you know, after a good first set for UTRGV in which they led wire to wire, the Islanders really in control in sets 2 and 3. And, Brian, that's something they've shown that they have the ability to do throughout this early season.
Especially, you look back to their first game against Grambling State, which granted, the SWAC team, not necessarily a powerhouse in volleyball, but in that first game of the season, when teams are trying to find themselves, 25-5, 25-9, 25-16 in a 3-0 win for the Islanders. 2 sets allowed less than 15 points.
Less than 15, less than 10.
So combined.
Oh,
yeah.
My goodness. I didn't even think about it that way. Wow. Those are numbers right there. When they get rolling, they can be hard to stop. Vaqueros saw that in sets 2 and 3. See what they can do here in set number 4. Already down 2-0. Kill by Barsh. An attack error by Mitrovic. Dempsey gets it out. Three nothing Islanders.
That's always one thing about volleyball that's amazed me, the difference of inches, especially on that back line.
You can call it a game of inches if you want. I'm going to call it a game of millimeters. There's the attack and blocked by Durham and Watson. Felix was making a bid for another kill. And the Vaqueros block there to get UTRGV on the board 1-3. Mitrovic over the block, and it's 2-3.
Interesting development we've seen so far in this match, too. Neither team giving away very many points. They are earning every single one of these points tonight.
Set up by Nicholson, pushed over and kept up by Ecker. That's Dempsey. Popped high in the air by Nicholson. Over to Sedelic Klepetka, and now slamming it is Felix. That's Sekulic, and now the attack comes over and down. Alicia Watson from the back row. Ties it at 3. So each team scored 3 in a row. First was the Islanders, now it's the Vaqueros. Ties up the set. Simply put, it is a must-win set for UTRGV, otherwise the match ends. If they win this set, we'll go to a decisive 5th. And the always exciting sprint to 15. Ecker. Dempsey. There comes Carlson. Watson right there. Sekulic. And Mitrovic slams it out.
To continue that point from earlier, we have to remember this is only the 4th game for both of these teams. And often you'll see teams still developing their defense 8, 10, 15 games into a season. But both of these teams not giving away points. You don't see a lot of defensive missteps. You don't see a lot of players looking at each other. Where were you? Where was I?
I was right here.
And you're not going anywhere.
Ooh. I ain't getting on that court. Off of Sekulic and out.
And to that point, 2 very well-coached teams, especially this early in the season.
It's always a good one when these two meet. At least it's fun to watch. And Sekulic for Mitrovic. They connected a lot last year. And Durham slams it down. 1 point set.
I'll say it now. We'll probably say that several times this season. When that ball is laying up very gently in front of Durham on the attack, you just have to hold your breath.
Give her time to wind up. And it's hard to defend. Felix into the net, ties the set up at 5.
Punch, counter punch.
Felix. Mitrovic. Dempsey. That's Mitrovic again. And that one's not coming back. 6-5 UTRGV. 6-2 run.
I'll say this too, watching Dempsey serve, not that I would want to return very many serves from collegiate volleyball players, but I would really not want to return her serve. She absolutely destroys that ball.
Serving down, you're right, it is a hard serve. She goes with a very high throw before jumping up there and meeting the ball. Durham gets blocked and stays in. Ties it at 6. Dempsey back to the bench area. Casey Sanchez is in. Ecker dumps it in. 7-6 UTRGV. Shannon. Mitrovic. And Felix finishes that one, ties it at 7. Maldonado is in, the serving specialist for Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. Mitrovic got it. 8-7 Vaqueros.
Entering the game for the Vaqueros, number 2, Alicia Watson. Serving for the Vaqueros, number 23, Boyana Mitrovic.
Alicia Watson in for Leslie Garza. Boyana Mitrovic back to serve. That one is headed out. Ace for Mitrovic.
You know, coming into this match, too, I wondered if we might see redshirt freshman Taylor Williams, who's a Corpus Christi native herself. It's got to be a certain amount of intrigue for her to play her hometown team, essentially.
Well, they've got a tournament in Corpus, 3 matches in 2 days. Twice against the Islanders and once against Texas Southern. But you're right. I mean, you grow up near a team. It's always interesting. (9-8). Brittany Gilpin serving to try and tie it. Ecker. Sekulic. Mitrovic. King. For Nicholson, and Barsh sends it down. Ties the set up at 9. Watson taps it over. And UTRGV leads 10-9. Alexandra Ecker back to serve for UTRGV. Neither team's been able to gain any separation in this set. Nobody's led by more than 3, and that was one of those 3-0 Islanders. See if it continues that way. It'd be a bit different than the first sets we've seen. UTRGV up 11-9. UTRGV led wire to wire the first set, keeping Texas A&M-Corpus Christi at arm's length at all times. While they didn't necessarily run away with it, they were never really in trouble. Texas A&M-Corpus Christi, really controlled sets 2 and 3. It was tight early in the sets, but the Islanders just ran away and hid in both of them. We'll see if this continues to be a back and forth affair, if one of these teams is able to gain some separation. It's a 1-point set again. Separation hard to come by. Morgan Williams.
Keeps these matches interesting, though. A back and forth affair tends to, you lose some of that dull moment sometimes you'll feel in a match that's been run away with the entire time.
Nicholson serving. Ecker on the first hit. Sekulic. Now it's Dempsey down the line, and she gets it. Megan Dempsey.
That was a really nice attack when you look at it, too, because her body motion is moving one way, and she just kind of flicks it right down the line, too. Also kicks the defense off as well on that.
And it was right on the line. It was going to land in, so you've got to go for it, but it's an awkward ball to try and get, especially based on the angle of the defender. As Carlson hits it out, UTRGV leads 13-10. It's their largest lead in the set.
Especially when you watch defenders, a lot of times in collegiate volleyball, the defender tends to follow the attack, and so when the attack moves another direction, it's very difficult to reposition yourself.
Islanders take a timeout. We'll do so as well. 13-10 UTRGV. This is Vaqueros Volleyball.
They are the dreamers and the promise of the future. They are the hope who will lead us to tomorrow. They are the givers who have the passion to serve. They are the visionaries who will celebrate discovery. They will make a difference. They will change South Texas.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg. Islanders quickly on the board. 13-11 now the score. Killed by Ivy Barsh. They didn't take the full time of the timeout. They're not required to. The Vaqueros lead whittled to 2 as Barsh gets airborne. Scrapes the net. Durham, Ecker, just gonna have to get it over with Sekulic. Left arm of Carlson comes up with another kill. It's a 1-point set.
With Barsh, we see a very different type of serve than with other players. She just barely skirts that ball over the net.
Watson. High pop. Kopetka. Now a little tapper. Sent down by Carlson. Carlson's got some power, but she's good with the finesse as well. We're tied at 13. UTRGV takes the lead right back on the serving error by Ivy Barsh, 14-13. Felix. Mitrovic. Carlson. Kept up, diving bodies. That one's going to stay down. Tied at 14. Kopetka serving. Dempsey. Kopetka. That's Felix. Her 8th kill. And the Islanders have the lead for the first time in a little while since it was 10-9. It's 15-14. Tight set throughout. First time we've had that today. Sekulic. Garza sets up Dempsey with the left arm. Diving bodies to keep it up. Third hit coming through. It's Felix. Mitrovic. And that one is off the ref. Since he is not a player, that means it's out.
I know he very politely tapped that over to UTRGV saying, okay, here's the point. And effectively now it's a race to 10.
Dempsey, who wears number 15, serving while it's 15 all. Dumped across by Nicholson. Well, the Islanders have the lead back as Haley King goes back to serve. Dempsey takes his stand. Takes a seat, just wouldn't be true. Casey Sanchez is in. Durham blocked. (17-15) Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. Sekulic sets it up. There's Mitrovic, gets it down. Big point and a big time. And that's the difference between a 3-point game and a 1-point game, and this late, you don't want to let it get too far away.
And this Islanders team has played a lot of sets and a lot of high-point sets already in this young season for them. In their second match of the season against Campbell, 30-28 second set.
Yikes. Oh, that'll help condition a team, that's for sure. 18-16 here in favor of the Islanders. Maldonado ready to serve.
I had to think back. It's been several years since I saw a set reach 30.
For me, it's been since April. Three-point Islanders advantage. UTPA played UTB in a spring exhibition. UTPA won 3-2. Third set was epic. UTB was up 2-0. And UTPA won the third set, but 31-29, I think. And then just dominated the final two sets. Kind of a glimpse of the future on both sides of the net. It was fun to watch. That ball was headed our way, but our old buddy Andreas, standing right in front of the broadcast equipment, saves it because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. 2016 Islanders, we got a timeout. We'll take one as well in the fourth set. Vaqueros trail 2-1.
It takes a certain kind of bravery to be part of something new and bold and daring, to go where nobody's gone before. The hard work, the countless hours of preparation, both physically and mentally, they all lead to that moment when the countdown starts. 3, 2, 1.
Alpha Building Corporation is a proud sponsor of the Vaqueros. Alpha Building Corporation, creating environments where great things happen.
Back we are at the UTRGV Fieldhouse alongside Brian Smith. I'm Jonah Goldberg. Fourth set, 20-16 Islanders getting into dangerous territory for UTRGV as they look to come back in this one and force a decisive fifth set, down 1-2 in the match. Mitrovic got it right off the timeout. Breaks a 10-3 run for Texas A&M-Corpus Christi dating back to their timeout. Vaqueros within 3.
And that's exactly what you want out of a timeout. Change the momentum, give your team a fresh outlook, see if you can dig your way back into this.
That was Mitrovic's 19th kill. That's a new Division I career high in her fourth match. And now it's a 2-point set.
You spoke about that match in April between UTPA and what would be UTRGV. Coach Lowry's last time.
Well, no, between UTRGV and what would be, no, UTPA, which would be UTRGV, and UTB.
Which ceased. Because Coach Lowry's last game against his former team, and interestingly enough, his last game against any of his former teams.
Well, his only match ever against the former team.
Both programs no longer existing.
And he coached them until, in the end, except for that one exhibition.
An interesting dynamic for any coach.
Yeah. Especially when he knew that Mitrovic and Sekulic were coming. So it was probably weird that they were on the other side of the net. But he didn't tell them to switch. He kept the teams as they were at that time. That one goes out. 22-18 Islanders. Gilpin back to serve. Sekulic for Watson, blocked and out. 3-point set. That was a break point right there because now you're as close to the Islanders as they are to match point. You got to get closer. So Ecker back to serve. Big one for the freshman. Barsh, Ecker up in the air. Sekulic settles it. Mitrovic just pushes it over, taps the net on the way in, and that one is in or out. It's in. 23-19 Islanders.
The Vaqueros in a tough spot now. Really have to play strong for the next several points. You allow the Islanders to get one more point. It's really hard to come back from 24.
Sekulic, Watson. Off the net. 3-point set. Tina Sekulic. And now it's match point. Ivy Barsh with her 18th kill of the match. And Barsh will serve. Vaqueros got to win 4 straight points. Sekulic for Watson, blocked and out. That's a point, that's one. And now Watson back to serve. She is one of the best servers on this team, so she's the one you want serving in this situation. Got to win at least 3. Watson gets airborne. Comes to the left. That's blocked and out. And that'll do it. Vaqueros fall 1-3, 21-25. Goes the final set. Brian, your final thoughts?
Vaqueros looked strong tonight. A good start there in the first set, but you see the experience of the Islanders really come to test in sets 2 and 3. And really, once the momentum shifted to A&M-Corpus Christi in those second and third sets, it was a hard-fought fight. But give UTRGV a lot of credit. That was a very nice fourth set. Shows a lot of progress under first-year coach Todd Lowry. And as the season goes on, I'm sure we'll see a lot more contests much like this.
I'll take a look at some of the final numbers. Islanders, led by Ivy Barsh, 18 kills, 275 hitting. She had 14 digs, 2 blocks for the double-double. 13 kills for Morgan Carlson. 10 for Kelsey Felix with 5 blocks. Nicholson had 6 kills with 41 assists, 11 digs as well, another double-double. 5 kills for Gilpin, 5 digs, 3 for Williams, 1 each for Dowd and King. The Islanders hit 214. UTRGV hit 122. They were led by Bojana Mitrovic for the 4th match in a row. 19 kills. 10 digs for the double-double, 2 blocks, 11 kills, Alicia Watson, that's a season high. A couple of blocks for her, 7 digs as well. 7 kills for Haley Durham, 6 blocks, that's a season high. 4 kills each for Megan Dempsey and Alexandra Ecker. 2 kills for Ibraka Vakoy with 19 assists and 12 digs from the double-double, 1 kill for Casey Sanchez. Give you all these numbers are the only ones that matter. 1-3, UTRGV falls to Texas A&M-Corpus Christi. That'll do it for us from the UTRGV Fieldhouse. I'd like to thank everybody out there for tuning in. This has been a presentation of Vaqueros Volleyball. For more information, you can log on to goutrgv.com. If you ever want to reach us, send an email. Contact info is up on the website under Inside Athletics. Click on Staff Directory. But for now, for my partner in crime, Brian Smith, my producer engineer, Romeo Villarreal and the entire camera crew. This is Jonah Goldberg saying good night from the UTRGV Fieldhouse. Vaqueros fall 1-3.